Yep, that's me. Page 100 on the Pierce County Voters pamphlet, running for the position 2 Justice seat of the Washington State Supreme Court. I've been putting this video off because I really didn't know what to do for this type of video. It's not a cooking video, it's not a school video, it's not really an instructional video, it's more of a personal video. So I thought what I'd do is just kind of introduce myself. So I put this video together answering questions that I've been texted, emailed, and called about. And I know attention span is not the greatest for every one of us, so I'm going to try to keep it to 5 or 6 questions. Won't make this too lengthy, so you can get on with your day and I can get on with my day. A little bit about myself. My dad and my mother met in London, England, and they came to America, where my dad got a job here in the Northwest at Boeing. My sister and I grew up together. My mother passed away when I was 5 years old. My sister's younger than me. She has passed away too, and so has my father. So I'm pretty much a lone warrior now. So a little bit about growing up. I got a job here in the Northwest as a radio disc jockey. I did that for about 7 years. I also did searchlights and balloons all over the state of Washington. I got into doing apartment maintenance, became a maintenance supervisor for 5 apartment complexes, and just started burning out. You know, you can imagine what it's like to be called at 2 in the morning, be told the hot water tank on the 2nd floor is burst, and you have to call a plumber and show up with a wet vac and get as much water as you can, with the neighbors downstairs saying, "Hey, there's water dripping in my apartment." So a friend of mine, retired Judge Roseanne Buckner, suggested I go to law school and become an attorney. If I knew how difficult it was going to be to go from being a maintenance man, to go through school, to pass a bar exam, to be sitting here now in front of you as a lawyer, running for a justice, I probably should have pursued accounting. But here I am as a lawyer. I went to college for the first time, got my bachelor's degree, applied at 11 law schools, and only 1 law school accepted me, which I'm very grateful. Cooley Law School in Lansing, Michigan. I moved there for 3 years, which at the time was the most time I've ever spent away from my sister that I can remember. We were very close. I came back to see her one day. She had a heart operation the following day and unfortunately, she passed away. When I was going to college, I got a job as a paralegal, minimum wage. I took a huge pay cut to do this. I went to law school, I came back, I passed the bar, and now I'm here as an attorney running for justice. What is one thing you'd like to accomplish if you became a Supreme Court justice? I would have to say transparency. For those who watch TVW or been to the Supreme Court, they see part of what a justice does, and that's they listen to cases being argued, why it should be granted, why it should not be granted, why it should be denied. The justices spend many hours reading lots of briefs, doing research in state law, legislation, arguments on the floor, statutes, civil law, criminal law, case law, courtroom rules. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And there's a lot of challenges, of course, as I'm going to talk about a little bit here, as far as the outcome. It might be beneficial to one person, whereas there's other people it's not beneficial for. In fact, sometimes people even lose money. They take a risk of spending thousands of dollars to hire an attorney to go to court. They go to the Court of Appeals. They spend thousands of dollars on briefs to get it before the judges of the Court of Appeals. And then if the petition is granted by the Supreme Court, they have to spend $1,000 more preparing more petitions, more information, more briefs, more research of why they were right or they were wrong, and why the judge sitting bench who heard the trial got it right or got it wrong, depending if you're the plaintiff or the defendant, the appellant. So I want to be transparent into the decision the justices need to make. Hopefully that answers your question. Here's some other questions I get asked, and I'll just be brief. What's my opinion on Washington's capital gains tax? Is it legal or not? The Court of Appeals said the legislature did pass a capital gains tax, and they found it lawful. The Supreme Court didn't hear the case. Some people think that the Supreme Court took a position. They didn't hear the case. There was no position published. It was just denied. Why didn't you get any endorsements? Well, I'm running nonpartisan. Inside of my pamphlet's guide it says I'm running nonpartisan. I know the other three candidates got parties to endorse them and got organizations to endorse them. I just thought, rather than going out seeking all these endorsements, I'll just let the voter decide who they want to be the next justice filling that seat, open seat in position number 2. And so that's why I didn't do that. I just thought I'd just run nonpartisan and just leave it at that. And yes, behind me is my website, and some of this information I'm telling you right now is on my website, davidshelvey.com. What is my opinion regarding the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms? It's the law. We as citizens of the state of Washington are allowed to have concealed permits. We are allowed to have concealed weapons. Unless the legislature changes that law, I will follow the law. What is your opinion regarding abortion? It's been legal since 1970 in the state of Washington. If it's legal, the law says it's legal, I will follow the law. What is your opinion regarding homosexuality? The United States Supreme Court has said not to discriminate. It's the law, and I will follow the law. Here's a fun question. Which federal Supreme Court justice do you most identify with and why? So here's what I wrote. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, or RBG. As a woman, she met with challenges and took action. She had a fierce determination to accomplish her dreams and to achieve justice for others. Her inspiration was to stop discrimination and to see equal justice for each person. I also want to make sure that each person in Washington is treated fairly and equally, like RGB did. What is my belief regarding the existence of a supreme being? As I stated in my voter's pamphlet, I believe there's a supreme being that I can go to and ask for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to make decisions. And just have faith that the Supreme Being will hear my prayers and answer them. Thank you for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing you at the polls.